Yeah, so who's rolling for continuity?
I'm going to roll for continuity.
I guess I should do that.
Oh, I'm not going. I got a 19.
Got a nat 20.
I got a great one. Like, it hit 3, and then it, like, bopped up, and then went over to 19. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to do it. And then, yes, I
wasted a 16 here, then.
No, Pat, you enjoyed a 16 here.
So, Mr. Nat 20, who's going?
Oh, right. I get to pick who it is.
Yeah.
I was just excited because I didn't have to do it. Let me give it to Ryan. Ryan, how you doing today?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Pat, you seem down in the dumps. I don't need your ire
I'm
today.
having a bad day.
Yeah, I can tell, and I don't want to make it worse, and I very much could. But Ryan is seems to be in a bubbly mood, and I would love for that to be the tone.
You'd like that to end, is what it is. You got a little pep in your step. May I put a tack in front of you? Okay.
I want that joy to spread to everybody else. I want you to infect our previous episode with your positive energy.
Okay, so from what I remember, and my memory is porous like a piece of cheese, we have been trotting through this dungeon. All of our stuff is gone because we made a very clever decision to get captured because we had no other choice to go to another time, and they took all of our stuff, and then we teleported back into the fucked up present. And all of our stuff is still gone. We were able to recover basically everybody's stuff but mine, which I feel is a personal attack on me. Bait left for a small minute to kind of have a little chit chat with his former mentor in the past. And then we all met back up together while we were trying to figure out a curious little door that you needed a password for. And evidently our passwords were not up to snuff.
Well, we just kept saying time.
Time.
In different ways.
We didn't have anything to go on.
Yeah, guys, you have no idea how many times we had to edit out Chowder saying your account has been locked due to multiple failed attempts.
Yeah.
It was just 10 minutes of that.
So what do you mean you didn't have anything to go on? There was a riddle.
We did. We had a riddle. You
gave us a riddle that we clearly couldn't figure the fuck out.
So Chowder, I will say it was a riddle.
The entire time you were on the other group, I was just typing random shit in, like, could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? I don't fucking know.
To avoid me is to meet me, and to embrace me is to find paradise. I mean, that one is very open-ended. I felt like time fit that one pretty well. Okay. And then once we got on time, there was nowhere to go.
This isn't like Hobbit riddles in the dark, like what riddles are you going to tell at the bar? This is a contextual riddle, and we had to explore the past and present versions of the castle to learn the information. I think that's cleverly integrated dungeon design.
Clever. It was a good riddle.
Or time.
Also, it's not like I did. Right. There was one solution and only one solution. There were multiple answers.
I understand that. But we clearly didn't fucking understand that at the time. Because we couldn't figure it the fuck out for at least 10 minutes.
So, anyway.
I'm not saying it's not my fault. I'm just saying it doesn't make for good podcasting.
Anyway. Confusing riddles that should have been the answer should have been time anyway. Aside, that door leads, I believe, to the labs, and that is where we are heading now.
And the episode ended with Chowder saying, "We have now arrived at the gates of fate."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. I thought we were going. Yeah.
Damn.
That was the last line in the episode.
Yeah,
so there's
so like I kind of regretted that line because that was just poetic, like wording.
Well, Chowder. Fun fact: the episode comes out in a few hours, and I really emphasized that as the last line of the episode.
So they're not actually called the Gates of Fate.
They're the Gates of Time now.
I mean, you're in a laboratory, and the laboratory is called the Gates of Fate. You can see a sign.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if there's a sign, that seems fair.
So it's very much like saying you have entered Albany urgent care because it's on the door.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the vibe we're going for.
You didn't like go into some mystical plane. You're in a laboratory called the Gates of Fate.
We have entered the waiting room of Gates of Fate.
Yeah, we're in the Gates of Fate now.
Gates of Fate.
I am going to say that Kalt is getting very nervous that everybody else has their shit back and he doesn't. So he's going to be looking very hard just for anything that is pokey and skull-shaped.
Yeah. Listeners, if you hear nonstop rattling, that's Ryan rolling a perception check every 5 seconds this whole episode.
He's feeling very naked currently without his with his cool stuff.
Which is saying something considering all the times he's been actually naked in this campaign.
Yeah, now he has
like
true
that.
fear. He has something to lose and he's lost it.
You guys haven't been naked?
We're not doing this. We're not litigating this. Locke has pants.
No, you have
Chowder,
pants.
take
We
control,
already
please.
agree
We had a
on
whole
this.
conversation like an episode ago.
So, anyways, you get off the spiral staircase. I accidentally threw my dice. Don't worry, I have another dice. Anyways, you get off the spiral staircase. You walk down a hallway, and you enter a room. Around you are like broken. What are they called?
Business card holders?
Not business card holders, but
Like
like
lab equipment or
glass chambers that are now broken. Used to hold something.
alblemics and test tubes and
I mean, test tubes, sure, but they're,
Alblemics,
big
that's
enough to hold a person in, or like bigger than a person,
Capital T test tubes.
Yeah, you can see like some tubing coming from the ceiling, no longer attached to anything really. But
Does this place look like it's in a similar state of dilapidation as everything else? Does it look maybe more insulated from the event or worse?
it isn't as destroyed as everything up above, but it is dilapidated. All right, like this is
Okay,
like
yeah.
age
So time
has
has
hit
still
this thing.
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess looking at the layout of this dilapidated doctor's office of a fate room, I guess like where can we go if we don't just investigate? Like, is there a hallway? Are there adjacent rooms? Like, as we get down the staircase, where can we go?
So right now you're in this room full of chambers, and ahead of you is a hallway that branches off into two ends.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take a few minutes to investigate this laboratory and see if there's any written notes left or any kind of so I can figure out if I can figure out anything about like what they are doing here. I am an Arcana man, so this is kind of up my alley.
All right, roll Arcana. I would definitely say this is Arcana. Yep.
Ooh, a paltry 13, but do not worry, it doubles into a 26 with my 13 Arcana score.
Holy yikes.
Man, that is a lot of Arcana. But okay, so you go over to like one of the smashed up tubes. You can see that it once held a person, people. And looking at like the tube that's coming from the ceiling, it was meant to like feed something that was in it. You can find like residue of like nutrients.
Ew.
Spooky.
Nutrient tubes.
While Kalt is presumably sniffing the nutrient sludge,
I thought he would taste it.
I didn't want to push the envelope too far. I figured sniffing would at least get a pass from Ryan, but we could go licking. That's fine. Bait is gonna turn to Arlen and say, "All right, you said this was the place that would have the answers. How to get to the Salt Spire without getting what? Rewound? Babified?" I don't remember exactly what words you used, but right now all I'm seeing is a bunch of broken glass and sludge. So
as he's like walking over some of the broken glass and sludge, he's like, well, there's more ahead.
Broken glass or sludge, both?
I mean, yes to both, but also we have all met the stone-home beasts. Truth be told, I don't know how exactly we made these, but I know that they were coming from the labs. Whenever we needed more, we would make a request to these labs here, and I get the feeling the source of them will give us something to work with.
hold the proverbial phone here. You get a feeling? Is this such an insulated and dysfunctional bureaucracy that you, whom we saw in the past leading groups of these individuals around the castle, do not understand what's happening here?
I mean, yes, I don't
Jeez
understand.
Louise.
Well, perhaps you could enlighten us on some other aspects of them. Do they have any weaknesses?
Can I roll insight? I feel like given these things' existence in the past, their animalistic nature, Bait's druid heritage, can I roll any sort of insight, animal handling history to see if Bait might recall how to deal with them? Because Arlen wouldn't have had to fight them. I assume Bait would have if he was opposed to the Mage Lords when they were occupying this place.
Let me just pull something up real quick.
Arlen pulls out his papers.
He rustles his papers.
Yeah, sure. Make a roll.
Would you prefer history or something else? Or animal handling?
I'm going to say Arcana.
Arcana. That is a 4 + 3.
You fail.
Ah, damn it. Okay. They're tough motherfuckers, so if we see one, I don't know, run, I guess? I don't know if you guys have actually fought any of these, but they're not a good time.
Well, what about the former Mage Lord? Does he have any knowledge about them?
It kind of doesn't seem like it, and Bait, raises an eyebrow to Arlen.
I mean, I can tell you how we've been, commanding these things.
Well, I mean...
That's a start.
Yeah, that's a start.
They are very much just beasts. They don't really think. And so we've been using, Pavlovian conditioning to motivate them. They're very food motivated, by the way.
Same.
Kalt begins to eye Bait very closely.
I remember that, as training wheels, there was a device somewhere in the lab that they would use before, or just having a regular old training program. But that's what I know about the Stonehome beasts. But,
Like a big, dog bone or something?
you're not too far off.
Well, until we have that device, I'm just gonna... And he just, scoops a bunch of the sludge into his bag, not caring how much other shit gets sludgy. And then, after he scoops a bunch in, he's like, I mean, hey, if they're very food-based, we've got the food, right?
These creatures, while I don't know how they're made, I know that there was, a source that they come from, as it were.
Well, I'm guessing the fact that they're called Stonehome beasts kind of points us in that direction, but we can't easily get to Stonehome, can we?
You're saying there's a puppy mill here?
Maeve, we're not getting a puppy. This is not the time.
Guys, come on.
Locke, can you put her in a room, please?
A puppy would really add a lot to the group dynamic.
I'm just
You
gonna
already have Bait turns into a puppy.
Oh God, that is the opposite of what we need right now.
Wait, what kind of dog? What kind of dog?
A very well-groomed Pomeranian.
Oh God, why is it's a little shit-eating dog?
He turns back into Bait. I can never make you fucking happy.
This is not constructive, guys.
Sorry.
No.
I think that was Arlen saying that,
that was
not
Arlen
Chowder.
saying that, not me, not Chowder.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
Yeah,
That's what I
put you in
figured.
your fucking place.
Well, I suppose we only choice we have is to go forward now. If people wouldn't mind keeping an eye out for my staff and my other belongings, that would be much appreciated. I had a really nice robe. I had a coin that did some cool stuff. I don't have my spell book anymore, which should be I'm not freaking out about at all.
Wait, but we also don't have the bag of holding too.
Yeah, my bag of holding, my staff.
And Bait just starts rubbing his temple. It's like, wow, you really did carry a lot of heavy hitting shit, didn't you?
Well, no, but everybody else was embarrassed by the leopard print. I don't care.
I think you wore it very well.
Yeah, I wore the shit out of it.
That's a 10 on that deception check. So Bait then turns to Arlen and says, okay, well, one, we should try to make our way to the tower. I'm pretty sure we've got less than a day to make our way there, figure out whatever shit is between us and it so that we can please that admiral and get out of here. That's obviously kind of the priority.
I mean,
But Kalt did have a lot of shit.
I do have a lot of shit.
Would they have kept it here?
Well, last time I spoke to Arlen, he said it might be in the labs.
Well, this is the labs.
Now, and this might be an outside of the box thinker, but if we could find a way to control these things.
Bait holds up the sludge bag.
Instead of going back, just, as good boys do to the admiral, captain, man, whatever he is, we could just murder him with the monsters here.
Who are you trying to murder? I'm down for it. I just need to know.
Like Magelord people.
Yeah, the Mage Lords didn't exactly go away. They got a few wardrobe updates, but by and large, it's sort of the same quasi-fascistic sort of attitude.
I've been shooting Mage Lords before you guys got here.
Yeah, those guys.
That's good to know. We could add some more to your repertoire.
Wapatar?
Hey, wow, Kalt, you want to take another run at that one?
Repertoire? Repertoire?
Is that a word? Is that right?
Yeah, repertoire.
Okay.
Repertoire.
That's how we're going to pronounce it from here on out. The Wapatar.
You try saying repertoire with a grisly tone. Repertoire. It comes out reptar.
It does. I've got a very impressive reptar. So Bait turns to Arlen once again and says, all right, I can't believe I'm with Kalt on this, but all his shit would be very helpful. Have you been down to the labs before when they were not in this disorderly state? I can't think of a better word than that.
I think he already said no. Why don't we just start exploring?
Yeah, let's just start. Yeah, because I think he said that they just put in like requisitions for abominations, like a bad episode of The Office, and they appeared.
So, okay, then I guess Bait will just sort of start walking down one of the halls.
Okay, anyways, so you guys all move forward?
One thing, though, whatever tools and sludge they had in the past to control these beasts, we've seen what they look like now, and they are a lot frickin' scarier, so I don't know if we can really depend on controlling them.
Well, only one way to find out. Let's keep moving forward.
Wow, Maeve, your voice really drops, and
Sorry.
Continues walk. Continues walk.
So everyone moves forward. You find a little branch in the hallway, but like forward of you is a room. It is a room full of like sciencey devices, and you can see objects. You can't quite make out what they are just yet.
Well, let's get closer.
We should be very careful. There could be traps, so everybody keep an eye out for traps. And I am going. Who's leading?
Maeve is leading the way. Calling it.
Maeve, I am going to guide you. If you would like to use that for any perception checks or anything like that, you are now guided. Or any other kind of checks, really.
Okay, cool. We'll be very sneaky. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Following Maeve, we bravely follow the 10-year-old as she leads us to victory.
I think Bait'll stay toward sort of the back of the marching order.
That tracks, personality-wise.
Thanks.
Okay, what do you guys do exactly?
We're walking to the room where there are things that we can't quite see yet.
And looking out for traps and stuff like that.
You're walking to the room. All right, roll for what would trap detection be?
Investigation.
Perception,
usually.
probably.
I think it would be
Investigation.
perception.
Perception or investigation, one of the two.
Chowder, what am I doing?
You're rolling either investigation or perception for traps.
Okay. Either way, they're a +1, so I'm using the guidance. So that is a 2 + 4
Oh my
+
God.
1, 7.
You take a step through the doorway and you hear like a little click and alarms start going off.
Is
Perfect.
it like a bell? Is it a speaker? Is it a magical light? Like, what is this alarm?
I'm glad you asked, actually. It is, in fact, a bell. Like, not like a bell that goes bong, bong, but more like a...
Is it like a fire alarm bell?
Or a school
Like something
bell?
that would call a dog.
I guess like a dinner bell that like, that goes...
Like a ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta love the ding-a-ling.
All right. As soon as the alarm goes off, because Bait's still out in the hallway, just gonna look around. Do I see an apparatus I can destroy to make the sound stop?
There are, in fact, like tubes running along the walls, those that are attached to where you're hearing these alarm sounds coming from.
I'm gonna tap Locke on the back and say, Locke, we should probably knock those down and stop this sound from happening. Because Locke is taller than me
I will.
and stronger than me.
Start slapping them.
You slap them.
I mean, not literally slapping.
It's a
I'm going
metaphor.
to attack them to like break them.
Roll attack.
Yeah.
Is this still unarmed or have I found my stuff yet?
You found your stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Wait, did he get his weapons? I thought he got his magical stuff, but not.
Well, here's the thing, brother. I am bonded to my weapon, and I
Oh,
can
okay.
summon it.
It might be no.
Oh, okay, cool.
That is a
Wow, Locke, you seem to be in a bit of a perturbed mood this evening.
Yeah,
So
that wasn't good.
You hit the thing. The bell comes off and hits the ground and makes a big crash and ding. So, and in the distance you can hear snarling.
Guys,
Okay.
I think it's dinner time.
Let's keep going in the lab. Be ready, guys.
Yeah, you said there was a bunch of stuff on the table, right?
Yes.
So you look at the stuff on the table, and hey, look at that. It's your stuff, Kalt.
Hey, is it all my stuff?
It's all your stuff, yes.
Nice.
Sick.
That's actually huge.
Yeah, Bait is looking through the broken windows at Kalt, having whatever emotional reaction he is to the stuff on the table, and hearing the snarling down the hall, and is just looking back and forth oh my god, we gotta get out of here.
Kissing the little skull on his staff, being like, "Oh, I'll never let you out of my sight again." Oh yes.
Guys, fellas,
no, it's okay.
Hey.
It's okay.
Call. Maybe you should be focused on potential slurpage coming up here.
Yeah, we might need a few rips of that thing here in just a second. There is some snarling approaching fast.
Whatever.
What? Okay.
While you guys are here, roll investigation real quick.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 12 plus a 9, 21.
I got a 12.
Your boy got a 19.
This is on par. A 4 plus 1, 5.
God damn. Put that dice in jail.
It's the same one I use every time.
I think that's his point.
Okay, so amongst your stuff, you also see a bell. The kind you'd see a mall Santa, shaking around. And you also see a quick manual type thing next to it. And you learn that this bell has a magical property.
The spell bell.
Pavlov's bell. When used on a person, it just induces mild hunger.
Oh shit, that's probably not a good thing in this scenario.
When it comes to the beast, it's useful in training them. You can get the bell to A, induce hunger, but also B, direct their focus of their hunger towards wherever the bell is ringing. Trying to figure out how to make it so that you don't have to hold the bell when ringing, so that user is not eaten by
Yeah,
beasts.
okay.
Oh, I'm
So
picking
it's-
up what you.
yeah.
I thought it was oh, do I direct it? No, they just go to the direction. I was about to say Bait. It's about to be a rough couple of minutes for you, but taking one for the team. But no, I believe I have Mage Hand, or somebody has Mage Hand in this group. If I don't,
Maeve has Mage Hand.
I have Mage Hand, so that's a range of 30 feet.
How does Call infer that this is how the bell operates?
There's a manual next to it, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense for a bureaucracy.
Wait, everyone, I found something very interesting. This is the bell that it drives them to hunger. If we could somehow figure out a way to ring it in another room, they will just follow it to that room.
Like, half of us can teleport. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Or I could just shoot it with an Eldritch Blast.
I have a thorn whip that I can stick out of my wrist like a Toby Spider-Man.
I mean, potato.
Well, I'm just saying, we can figure that out. What we can't figure out is how long it will be before we're eaten if we keep standing right here. Actually, that's going to be pretty fast.
In fact, that's a good sentence, because you start to see that there are beasts coming towards you.
Are they Cerberuses?
They are not Cerberuses.
Okay, they are just Rego boys.
Just reggy boys.
So
Reggie
just the plain old regular terrifying stinky hunt you through the darkness Stoneholm beast that murdered an entire village earlier on in the campaign. That's
Exactly.
it. Nice and easy. Awesome. Cool.
Several of
Multiple
them. In
of
fact,
them.
Bait, could you...
I'm gonna roll a dice to see how many there are.
Bait. Could you summon some animals?
And the minimals?
Why are you laughing at my pronunciation of animals?
Bait didn't laugh. That was an out of character laugh. Bait, actually, hold on. Let me roll a performance check.
This is a very serious moment, Bait. I need you to focus.
That's a nat 20 on performance. Bait has the straightest face you've seen in his life.
Can you conjure an animal?
Bait does not react to this pronunciation. Chowder, question. Once again, given Bait's experience in the past, do you think Bait would have the ability to either shape into or conjure a Stoneholm beast? Or is that just way out of the realm of...
Fun fact about druids, they make a distinction between animals and monstrosities. These are very much monstrosities.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that makes sense. Bait says, yeah, I could Raz and Barry performed dutifully for us before, but to be honest, this looks like a little bit more of a situation than the big lumpy fella.
Well, no, they'll follow the bell. If you have something that's very fast, they'll keep on chasing the bell. I know you have a horse somewhere locked and loaded for this very occasion.
My mind did exactly go to Danbury.
I think a pony is either an eighth or a quarter.
I can use conjure animals to summon 8 beasts of challenge rating 1 quarter or lower. So Bait, as soon as you ask this, like, could I summon animals that can run fast and run away? It's like, Danbury, it's your time to shine. Bait does. Bait casts.
Wait, one quick question: How well do
he freezes
horses,
like mid pose of the somatic component?
How well do horses handle circular stairways?
Hold on, Matt. When I was writing and was Danbury,
I'm not giving you
Arianor,
any ammunition here. You gotta.
Do you remember?
It's a horse. It's a horse, dude.
It's a horse, of course.
Horses.
Come on.
You know what? Just to move this along, I'm gonna say horses can move up circular stairways.
Okay, Kalt asks the question, can they handle circular stairs? Bait like stops mid pose with his hands in the air, raises an eyebrow and says, oh, you clearly don't know not to fuck with Danbury. And 8 majestic apocalyptic horses appear in the hallway, neighing and whinnying, kicking their front hooves in the air. Straight up stampede of horses in front of the beasts.
I'm going to hand the bell to Bait so he can, I guess, tie it to one of their manes.
Bait takes the bell, is very careful not to ring it, and walks over to what is clearly, and just looking at it, you can tell which one is the lead horse. Like, it's just obvious. Just walks over to the obviously dominant horse and attaches the bell to it and says, run like the wind, and slaps it on its butt. And that one horse runs away back and up the stairs we came.
Doesn't that kind of go against your druid philosophy? Like, you just fucking use that horse as bait.
I mean, technically, they're just fey spirits.
They are.
They love this
these
shit.
are not actual animals, but also my particular circle of druid belief accepts death as part of it. It's rather the exploitation that's problematic. So if this were a real animal, maybe.
There's nothing exploitative about using a bunch of horses as bait for vicious creatures that will eat them asshole first. There's nothing exploitative at all.
So the horse runs past a few surprised guard dogs, and they turn their attention from you guys towards the horse and horse. I can't say horse for some reason.
Chowder, your voice is sounding a little hoarse right now.
Thank you. So if you've ever seen a group of dogs try to chase one thing down, that's what's happening here. You see 8 stone home beasts chasing this horse.
So the horse speed is also 60 feet, by the way.
The horse is outpacing the thing. It hasn't been caught. And you have successfully avoided being mauled by a group of guard dogs.
We avoided combat again, guys. Good job.
I mean, honestly, I was hoping you would find a way to avoid that one.
What do you mean hoping? We're so smart. It was always going to happen.
The lead horse is leading them up the stairs, and Bait is going to send the other horses after them. And a tear will roll down his cheek as he says, keep riding like the fucking wind and don't stop till sundown. All right, so we need to keep finding more information. Kalt, are you missing anything? How are we doing?
Am I missing anything?
You're not missing anything.
Hell yeah. I'm going to put the little manual for Pavlov's bell in my bag.
Gotcha. All right.
So, I guess that there's no reason for us to not try to go to the tower, right?
No reason at all. I would like to roll investigation, though, because Bait is very curious about how they're making these beastie boys. And I guess I would just like to see if there's anything in our travels, if there's anything that would point out how they're doing this, because Arlen doesn't know and Bait wants to know.
Okay, roll investigation.
That is a 17.
You look around the room some more, and you find some papers. And what the papers are telling you...
Bait rustles his papers.
Hold on, I got some papers we can rustle.
Making my job easy.
What you're finding is that the beasts weren't like something they intended to create initially. They were trying to make something else. But whenever they tried to make that something else, the end result were these Stoneholm beasts. They decided to put these abominations to good use, and so that is sort of the origins of these Stoneholm beasts.
Okay.
Now, what it is, it doesn't say. There is a sort of code word it's calling it right now, which is thunder.
Thunder.
Okay. Bait is going to go to put the papers in his bag. He forgot there was sludge in there, so he's going to try to surreptitiously scoop some sludge out of the bag to make safe room for the papers.
Okay.
Hold on, I want to roll. I got a 4 on that stealth roll, so it's very obvious he's just dumping sludge out of his bag.
I'm going to grab the papers and put it in the bag of holding.
I
see him trying to wipe sludge off of it.
That's probably a better idea.
Yeah,
Huh?
I would like to note that the hallway you guys came from did branch into another area.
Yeah, I mean, if Maeve's still leading the way, Bait's just sort of waiting in the same order as before.
That didn't go so well.
I think I am gonna go first now.
Yeah. Yep. All you. Go for it.
Yes, Locke has good eyes.
What?
What does that mean?
Locke has good eyes.
No, he has good eyes. They're very beautiful. He can see all the things.
Do you think there's a correlation there, or because like people with blue eyes famously have some of the worst eye problems there are, and they're objectively more beautiful?
Well, no, he has good eyes. I just said he had good eyes.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what's okay. Locke, lead the way. Let your good eyes bring us to fucking victory, I guess.
So you go down the hallway, and ahead of you see a really big room. There are actually lights coming from that room, but you also hear from a closed door to your left.
But there seems to be something off about what's trying to be done. We don't ask questions, we just follow orders.
Hold the fuck up. Fucking what's her face? The gnome? The gnome torturer is here in the future?
I mean, you hear their voices.
Yeah,
Probably some kind of abomination.
Okay, so just so you know, like, even though Bait was like under feigned death, he could still hear what was going on. So Bait also like,
this is coming from the room to your left. Like the room where the lights are coming from is something different.
Yeah.
Just so to clarify. Yep.
Bait also has keen mind, so I always know where north is. So once we're in the big room, is that door in the direction of the tower that we're trying to get to, the Salt Spire, or no?
No.
Okay. Bait is gonna. Where's I guess Locke? Bait is just following Locke wherever Locke goes. I guess.
Locke is gonna go to the light place.
You go to the light place, and before you see chambers, many of them, filled with natives of the island, and they are suspended in a light green goo kind of thing. The tubing from the ceiling that you guys saw in the first room is, going into their mouths, as it were.
Soylent Green is people!
Ugh, are they weirdified by the passage of time, or do they look like normal people?
Interestingly, while they don't look like the time-locked zombies that you have been encountering, they look like they're in a middle stage between, being regular people and being Stoneholm beasts.
Interesting. Do they look alive? Question mark?
At this point, they are not alive.
Okay.
Bait is very curious about how these things have come to exist. So I think Bait is maybe gonna move over toward the door with the gnome voice and try to hear more of what's happening.
All right, real quick, because this is something you would see upon just entering the room. But there's like another room attached to this room that is full of like cages with like people in them and stuff. Mm-hmm. The people are all dead, but you can recognize them as like drow natives to the island. People who were part of like the resistance, people who were protesting and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? You want to go back to the room with the gnome?
Okay, with that additional information, I'm not going to go there just yet. Bate's going to ask Arlen another question and say, okay, so those dead people are not abominations. Clearly this place is insulated from the effects of what has happened here in a way that you are not. Do you have any idea what's going on, or is this the weirdness you were talking about as you get closer to the spire?
I had suspicions about what was happening, so I have been vague because I didn't want to believe it, but prisoners go missing and we get new guard dogs. Well, this is the field for that, I guess. Turning the very people fighting against us into our own mindless servants. This isn't part of the weird time reversing thing. That's not what this is.
Bait is gonna like start seething and march off toward the door where we hear the gnome voice coming from, ignoring what the rest of the group is doing.
All right, so you go into that room and you see, 2 time-locked zombies, and they're just kind of repeating the same thing
about what's trying to be done.
Okay.
We don't ask questions.
One of them is the gnome who gave Kalt the crystal that got you back to the present.
Mm-hmm.
The other is the one who was gonna fill you up with some truth serum, as it were.
Yeah.
The one who was the one who gave you the crystal is saying things like, "There's something off about what we're trying to do here." Yanoa is just being dismissive, and you can hear her scraps of a conversation like, "Why do we even need a Jin?" You can't really make out much of this conversation because gurgling and just repetition and what have you.
Bait sort of realizing that there's no revenge to be had here or anything, just exits the room, shuts the door behind him, and it takes a minute to compose himself, realizing that this whole time it wasn't just oppression, it was also this. But after sort of regaining composure, moves back over to the group and was probably important to mention, they were talking about a gin.
Or like a juniper alcohol type of scenario. It's quite good. Have you had a gin martini?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
sorry. No, the gin. It's the name for a rather, in our case, malevolent spirit that we experienced encountered in Crinkle Snoot Caverns. There's a chance they may.
You guys fought a gin?
yeah.
Oh my God! How did we not tell? We were on a boat for so long. We didn't tell you that story.
We whooped its ass, and we got a bunch of cool stuff.
Okay, hold on. No, some
you
people
didn't really
got
tell
cool
me
stuff.
anything about what happened when I was gone.
Well, Kalt got some cool stuff. I got hunk-a-chunked by a giant ghost sword. So
that's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, next time we're on a boat for several weeks, I think anybody listening to us can assume that we've had that conversation. But until then, we should definitely stay on our toes. Bait is also clearly just in emotional distress right now. He a mess.
All right. What do you guys do now?
That's a good question. Where are we going, Locke? You're leading, right?
Why do I lead this time?
You said you were leading.
You're still
I was
in the front of
walking
the marching
forward. I'm
order.
not making all the decisions for the group.
Oh.
God, it's like being a dad all over again.
So there's the alcoves that he went over to, and is there any other direction but forward or going back where we came?
I mean, we could try to save all these people.
Well, they're dead, right?
I thought they just had tubes in their mouths.
I thought we asked if they were alive, and I'm pretty sure Chowder said that they were dead.
In the present, they're dead. They may not be dead in the past.
We could go back in time.
We could go back in time.
And that's what I meant by at this point, they're not.
Yeah.
At this point. So that is something we could do. We could very quickly pop into the past, unleash these probably horribly hurting people, and then pop back into the present.
We could have a problem in the present, though, because we could change something massive back there by letting all these people go.
Also, you see Kalt's brain start to fizz, and he's like,
There's also the possibility that if we go back to the past, there would be a second staff in the room. And then if they got close enough together, perhaps I could have 2 staffs. Time travel.
Okay.
As the DM, I will tell you right now that you would just end up with 1 staff, but To answer your question, Colin, while this room has no way forward, going back into the hallway and taking a right would actually take you to further into the lab. Yep.
All right, so here's what I'm going to vote. As Locke and Kalt are debating this, Bates just going to chime in. How about we put a pin in that as an option? Clearly, this is not the way forward. Let's see where we can go without incident. But since we've expended the horses, at least we know we can fall back on this.
Sure. I guess that's fine.
Nobody ever wants to start incidents.
Nate is going to just start walking back into the hallway at this point. Every time that we've decided, like, oh, let's just pop back and change something real quick, it hasn't been just pop back real quick. It's been kind of a kerfuffle.
I mean, to be fair, the president has been a kerfuffle too, says Arlen.
It's true.
Like
it's like, yes, it's all kerfuffles. Yes, they're my people. But yes, they're Arlen's people. But it's also kind of like a time loop that doesn't fucking matter. Like, there is no breaking out of this like Arianor unless we get to the Salt Spire. Ah! And then Bait just continues to walk down the hall.
Well, let's go.
I don't know. I kind of vote for letting these people out too, but you know, I guess I'll follow your lead.
Fine, majority rules.
I mean, I barely give a shit about Bait, and if he doesn't give a shit about these people, I definitely don't.
I will go with the flow. I don't care.
Let's just go to the tower. That's why we're here.
Bait hurries up out of the room. You're welcome, Locke. You're no longer in the front of the group because we've turned around backwards. So Bait is now just huffing and puffing out into the hallway to take the other branch.
All right, you take the other branch, and you're in a room full of shelves with like papers and books and what have you on them. And ahead of you is a shut door. It's big, it's closed, it doesn't look to be locked.
Bait is kind of in a state now and is just going to go straight for the door and try to open it and see if it's locked.
You go straight for the door, you open it, and you see, put it simply, you see some H.R. Geiger shit, but...
H.R. Geiger? Excuse me while I Google that.
Oh, he did like the art design for like aliens and...
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you
wow.
know, like a lot of machinery combined with
organic
organic stuff. Yeah. But like what you see is like a gigantic djinn. What you saw in Crinkle Snoot does not compare to this thing. It is ethereal. It is like exuding power, but it's also not alive. Eyes are closed, and it is hooked up to like thousands upon thousands of wires and tubing, and like you can see like dried up blood coming through the translucent tubing. In front of the djinn, you see like chambers, and unlike the chambers you've seen before, one, they're pretty darn big. Two, they're not holding stone-home beasts. Rather, you're seeing like the djinns that you saw in Crinkle Snoot, you know.
What the fuck?
So it's like like a mama djinn and then baby djinns?
Not exactly. There are answers for what it is.
Yeah, Bait is standing in the door speechless as everyone catches up to them. Yeah, you can forget the boat conversation. Imagine this, but way fucking less scary and creepy.
Do the smaller djinns look alive, or are they also dead?
You can see that they are breathing. They're not conscious.
Cool. Tight.
All right.
Let's be very quiet.
Real quick, does anyone speak Infernal, Aquarian, or...
Yes, I speak Infernal.
Okay.
I think I
Like
also
that-
do.
Yeah, you do.
You know, you see like writing up above like the big dude, and you know it's several different languages. Basically, all the elemental languages are accounted for, and what you can read is Project Thunder.
Dinnertime.com.
All right. And this is episode, what is this, 63?
This is 63. We had just a totally uneventful 62 edit, and it felt so good.
Well, you say that. It was still a combat episode. There was still combat.
There was still combat, but but it wasn't even as complex as most of our other combat.
Nope.
And
considering we've been making a point of avoiding combat.
Yeah, no, that's true. It was the first real combat episode we had in a while, but it was just so nice. In the back half of the episode, or like when we're walking down the hall, I'm like, oh, this is just dialogue. I don't need to worry about the continuity. I can just slap the music in and tighten it up.
Slap soda of car. This bad boy can fit so much.
Continuity in it.